Good day. Today we're going to focus our discussion on the organization theories and application. An organizational structure is a framework in which people interact and communicate with each other. And the graphic or visual representation of the organizational structure is called the organizational chart. When we talk about the basic parts of an organization, according to Mintzbergs, to understand how organizations structure themselves, it is important to know first how they functions, and in doing so, knowing and understanding their components and how each part function and interrelates are vital. Let's start discussing one by one the parts of the organizations. The first part is the operating core. The operating core is considered as the heart of the organization. This comprises the people who perform the four primary functions, which are directly related to the production of products and services, such as securing inputs for productions, transforming inputs into outputs, distributing the outputs, providing direct supports into inputs, transformation and outputs functions. And when we talk about standardization, it is generally implemented in operating core as the organization wants to ensure the quality of products and services produced and delivered to customers. However, standardization varies depending on the nature of work done by the worker. The next basic parts of an organization is the strategic apex. It is located on the other end, where the top management and their support staff are located. They are the one who perform the most important role among the five parts of the organization, which is the formulation of the strategy as the result of scanning the environment. Further, they are responsible for reviewing, revising, and carrying out that mission, and making important decisions that may direct or indirect impact the organization. Since the work of the top management is abstract and requires more of the conceptual skills rather than other skills of the managers, standardization of work is at the minimum. Next part, the middle lane. The middle lane is the part of organization which is located between the strategic apex and the operators. It comprises the middle lane manager or the senior managers who report directly at the top management that supervise the first line managers or supervisor who direct authority over the operators. In small organization, the strategic apex or the top management may supervise the operator directly. However, in a large organization, there is a need for the middle lane manager or the senior manager as the acts as the chief executive in his own unit. The strategic apex cannot supervise as many operators as he can because there is a limit to what he can supervise or his span of control. The manager needs to have a close personal contact with his subordinates. And it is not possible if the manager needs to do with a large number of people. Hence, there is a need for a chain of command. A scalar chain where the strategic apex oversees the whole operation and the middle lane managers supervise the first lane managers who supervise the operators. The next basic part is the technostructure. The technostructure part is where the analysis and their supporting staff are located. They do not work with the operation, but they are the ones who affect the works of others. They perform a function at all levels of the organization as quality control staff or work scheduler of the operator level, training managers at the middle lane level, and also designer of strategic planning system at the apex level. Their works are minimally standardized and mutually coordinated, hereby requiring informal or consistent communication. The next one is the support staff. Support staff provides services that directly related to the organization's mission. For example, in a hospital, the support staff refers to the janitors, the security guards, the people who work in the cafeteria, and in some hospitals, they are also those who work in the chapel. They do not directly work in the production part, but they provide additional support to the organizations. Now, let's jump our discussion on design parameters. The following are the design parameters that may combine to design an organizational structure. The first one is job specialization, or what we call the division of labor. Adam Smith introduced the term division of labor in his book Wealth of Nations in 1776. Smith emphasized that job specialization improved the skills of a worker, reduced time to produce the product, leads to the development of new methods, machinery, and technology. If a specialization is done repeatedly through many different workers, it will lead to increased productivity. Mintzbergs in 1979 added that the job specialization may be implemented through horizontal specialization and also vertical specialization. When we talk about horizontal specialization, it indicates that the breadth of scope as how the job may be specialized, including the number of tasks combined in each job and how broad or narrow each task is. For example, a worker may perform one task after another, and he or she may focus on a highly skilled task. While the vertical specialization indicates the depth of specialization, it refers to the worker control over his work. He may either perform the task without any regard as to why or how she or he is going to do it. He or she may have full control of what he is or she is going to do. As repetition exists more prevalently in horizontal specialization, standardization is achieved. More so, job specialization is normally observed at the operating core because it is where the products or service are produced or rendered, hence the needs for productivity. Another design parameter is the behavior formalization. Behavior formalization focuses on the standardization of work process in an organization. This is done to increase uniformity and predictability so the behavior may be easy to monitor and control. It is done to regulate the behavior of the worker and to promote coordination. Mintzbergs suggests that the highly formalized organization, a bureaucratic structure, enable its people to know exactly what and how to do things in any situation. Max Weber described it as an ideal structure, not exactly the best, but pure in the sense that it may characterize the division of labor, specialization, formalization of behavior, hierarchy of authority, chain of command, regulated communication, and standardization of work process and skills. This kind of structure is suitable if an organization exists in a suitable environment. In a dynamic environment where adaptability and innovation are vital, an organic structure is more suitable. Mertzberg defined organic structure as the absence of the standardization in an organization, further characterized as the loose and informal working relationship where the people do things as need arises. True, though there are organizations that are really considered as bureaucratic or organic, none may be considered as complete one across the various parts of particular organizations. Instead, it can be assumed that organizations are partially bureaucratic and partially organic, since some parts may be more stable, repetitive, and standardized than others, and may require more formalization. The operating core, or what we call commonly regarded as bureaucratic rather than organic, while the apex is more commonly regarded as organic. Next design is departmentalization. This focus on the basis for grouping position into unit. It is an important step in organizational design because it is through this process that system of authority is established and the hierarchy is built. It is the way of establishing coordination through a system of commonly supervised sharing of resources, measure of performance, and informal communications. The next is the span of control. Grouping based on the unit size concern the number of positions that may be included in each level in the hierarchy. This clarifies the span of control of a manager or how many persons should be reporting directly to him or her. The number of subordinates reporting to a manager and the hierarchy levels may result in a tall or flat structure. According to experts, tall structure have a long chain of authority with relatively small group at each hierarchy level, while the flat structure has few levels with a large group each. While both tall and flat structure have their own advantages and disadvantages also, studies suggest that tall structure has better impact on profit and return on investment as data collection, analysis, and decision making are carefully done in the various hierarchy levels. Multiple levels in the hierarchy allows managers more time to conduct research and analysis and make their decision. However, the choice as to whether a tall or flat structure is appropriate may ultimately depend on the needs of the organization. A tall structure may be suitable for an organization that requires close supervision of its people. In contrast, an organization that may require more autonomy on their workers to empower them in making their own decision and action, such as those engaged in the sales trade, may also choose flat structure. Let's talk about the types of organizational structure. An organization exists to achieve a certain goal. To achieve this, organization need to operate in a way that is parallel with their size and needs. Thus, different types of structure are built to meet the different objectives of organization. The first type is the simple structure. The basic structure design center on the owner of the business as a major decision maker. It deals with a simple environment where the employees' tasks are not specialized and they report and receive orders directly from the owner. This structure is usually seen as small business or organization. Bureaucratic structure. Bureaucratic structure is a design that follows a hierarchical or a ranking system in decision making. In this structure, the management usually operate in an impersonal and systematic manner. Moreover, strict policy and regulation are established to ensure an efficient, organized, and smooth flow of operation. Functional structure. The functional structure is essentially a simple structure that is more elaborate in terms of delegating tasks and making decisions. With this, employees are divided into different units according to their skills and report, not to the owner of the organization, but to the managers of the department. Divisional structure. This structure design deals with the development of and production of the organization's project that cater to specific audience or market through division. This requires each division to independently handle every activity, which includes but not limited to product design, manufacturing, marketing, and sales. The divisional structure can seen with organizations that establish operating groups in local or international settings such as division in the United States, Japan, and Canada. This structure may also base on the client and organizational serves. Matrix structure. The matrix structure, also known as the hybrid structure, is the work setting commonly seen in a project management. This structure employs reports to or multiple managers, where one is usually the project manager and the other is the functional manager. This structure is created to ensure dynamic and open communication between the different units, which leads to increasingly efficiently. Network structure. Network structure focus on a different organization collaborating to develop a product or service. This structure makes use of strategy called outsourcing, where the organization hires and forms a partnership with other organization or company to operate a segment of the product they are developing. Team-based structure. A team-based structure is modern approach where the different people having different specialties make up the team and achieve a common goal. This structure is chain of command. It's not visible. Instead, everyone in the team discuss and contributes information freely to come up with a decision. In addition, the team-based structure promotes a good working environment and unites spirit, which increase productivity. Virtual organizations. These virtual structures focuses on the partnership and cooperation of different organizations in developing a product or service, often in various remote locations through the use of telecommunication. Hence, organizations with design enjoy lower costs and are able to hire many skills individual as employees can be formed in any location. As for the employees, they are satisfied and are able to work more as they work from home. To wrap up our discussion, an organizational structure is a framework in which people interact and communicate with each other. An organizational chart is a graphic representation of organization structure. The following parameters are used in designing an organizational structure. The job specialization, or that what we call division of labor. It can have horizontal specialization or vertical specialization. The second one is behavior formalization, or what we call the bureaucratic structure and organic structure. Unit grouping, or focus more on departmentalization and unit size. It is what we call the span of control. It can be tall structure or flat structure. The different types of organizational structure are built to meet the different objectives of organization. These are simple structure, bureaucratic structure, functional structure, division structure, matrix structure, network structure, team-based structure, and virtual organizations. Thank you.